everyone, welcome back. My name is Alex and this is Budget Me Alex. I am a 29-year-old all cash budgeter. I am on a journey to be completely debt free, as well as I do have some pretty big savings goals. So if you are interested in this type of content, just go ahead and continue watching. So today we will be doing a weekly paycheck breakdown. I will be working with $898. We're also going to be doing a Q&A like I announced in my last video, so I'm gonna try to do my best not to get so distracted in like miscounting or forgetting something, so just bear with me on this. I had actually already recorded this video, but something went, it wasn't uploading properly, so I ended up having to re-record it. So that's also why it's being uploaded later in the day, but we're just gonna roll with it. Let's see here. I also will be announcing the giveaway today for hitting 5,000 subscribers, so just stay tuned for that. I'm gonna start with my non-negotiables, as I always do. So I have my bills first, and I'm gonna put this down. Okay, so I have my laptop next to me. I'm gonna try to go through these questions. If I don't necessarily announce who asked it, I'm sorry. Some of these questions I'm getting like multiples of, so I'm just gonna go through the common ones basically. So the first question was, let's see here. Okay, so someone asked if I see myself going full-time with YouTube. That is definitely the goal if the opportunity would allow me to go full-time. I did pray a lot before even starting this channel. Like, I literally prayed for months. Sorry if you hear any barking, that's my dog, she's outside. Yeah, so I actually prayed for several months before I even started this, and I just asked God, like, if this is something that's for me, then open the door and allow me to be successful in whatever time frame that is, and whatever success would mean to you in certain things. So and if it's not for me, then just shut the door, even if it feels uncomfortable, or, you know, if I would be kind of bummed about it. So yeah, I thank God that so far the door has stayed open, and in less than a year, honestly, we've already had 5,000 subscribers, which is actually not anything I even thought would be a possibility. So thank you guys so much for that as well. But yeah, I would love to go full-time with YouTube. I've actually been thinking of, the reason why these two are getting 0 is because I wasn't supposed to stuff them last week and I accidentally did, so this week I'm not putting anything towards these two. So yeah, I've actually, and I mentioned it before, I would like to start a vlogging channel if that's something you guys are interested in. I just think it would be a lot of fun. So I probably wouldn't start that until the new year, just because the rest of this year is already extremely busy, like it's flying. So I wouldn't even be able to, also because of work, we're going into our peak season, and it's just, I wouldn't have the time to even edit or anything like that. So I wouldn't start that until maybe January, but if you guys are interested, let me know. Okay, so let's go through these. Netflix gets $5, Gym gets $25, Experian today gets 0, Spotify gets 3, Disney always gets 10, and Debt gets 50. Okay. Yeah, so I would love to go full-time and maybe start another channel if I'm able to do that. But next question. I've gotten this question a lot since the beginning. A lot of people want to know exactly what it is that I do. If you've been watching from the beginning, you would know that I started off working 2 full-time jobs, and I was also doing YouTube on the side, so it was extremely busy. I used to work, the job that I quit, I was working for a home builder, and I was in the warranty department. So basically I was in charge of taking all the complaints that were wrong with the house that were still covered under warranty or not, and then I would send that out to the field rep, who would then go ahead and schedule for repair or decline it. So obviously this had to do with people's homes, so you can imagine a lot of the times they were not very happy, which is fine. I have been dealing with customer service jobs basically since I started working, and so I'm used to angry people, but I was doing that, and I started working for my parents part-time. Actually, they own a trucking company, and they're in partnership with Amazon. They're one of their Amazon carriers, which is this program that they rolled out with a few years ago. I'm gonna do my weekly wallet here. So I started off part-time with them, and I started off just as a dispatcher. So I would deal with the drivers, any issues they would have on the road or whatever, like breakdowns, things like that. And so it eventually got, like, my parents' business grew very quickly, and so they needed a lot more help a lot faster. They needed me to be full-time a lot sooner than was expected. So I ended up going full-time with them. Now, the other company was fully aware that I was also working for my parents, so it wasn't like I was kind of doing it behind their back or like hiding something or anything like that. It wasn't anything at all like that. So they were fully aware. Let me see. Total side note. Okay, so this was the last binder that I was waiting for. I am obsessed with the color. And then Transplans on YouTube, actually, I was obsessed with, she has an Etsy shop, and I was obsessed with her envelopes. And I got these new ones, and I also got these for my wallet. So I am honestly obsessed with this. Like, they are so stinking cute, and I want them. I wanted to order more. I ended up ordering different ones for my other ones, but my personal one, I did want it to be just a little bit different because it is mine, so I wanted it to be fun. So okay, that was a total side note, but going back to what I do for work. So I was working full-time, and both jobs just started to become a little bit more demanding. They were both starting to get busier. The other company was changing a lot of things and honestly demanding more for not really a difference in pay, actually no difference in pay at all. And it was more work on us. And so with that, and then with my parents' business growing so much, that became so busy too that I said, if I'm going to quit one of the jobs, I'm obviously going to quit the one that's not, I'm obviously going to stay with the one that's going to benefit my family. So I went full-time with my family, and we don't have this huge staff. We got started with this business in 2019. So every person wears many hats. It's very much a family business. So we are all fully involved. My two younger sisters, my older sister, my aunt, my dad, my mom, so we just are fully invested in this business, and it's growing very quickly. And so yeah, we're really excited about it. So that's what I do for work. I do a little bit more than just dispatching now. I am salary based, and sometimes I start work at 12 p.m. and I don't end until 4 a.m. Sometimes I start at 4 p.m. and I never end past 4 a.m. but the time that I start is always dependent on how much help is needed that day, how busy it is. So yeah, that's that. But oh, okay, so you guys will notice, actually no, these, I changed a couple of the names of the envelopes here. And the new envelopes that I'm ordering for my other wallets, for my other binders, I am condensing some, and then I'm making some new ones for other ones, but those aren't going to come for like another month or two, honestly. So those will still be the same for now. But Next question. Someone asked, Beauty and Budgeting asked what my biggest hurdle or struggle was that I deal with today when it comes to saving. Because she did mention that like a lot of people mention their struggles in the beginning of trying to start this journey, but as far as like already being into it, not many people really talk about it. And I guess my biggest hurdle right now is, you know, sometimes you experience a little bit of burnout having to have such a like strict budget sometimes, and just like anyone else, like you just want to splurge, or sometimes you are so focused on building an envelope that you don't want to touch it. So I guess that's my biggest struggle right now, is knowing that it's okay to pull money out of these envelopes. Like that's exactly what they're for. If you want to take away from one envelope and put it into another, that's totally fine. Like it's your money at the end of the day. You're working hard to budget for it. So, I mean, obviously be responsible with it. I'm not saying just grab everything out of the binder and just spend it all. But I want to say burnout is definitely one thing for me, and kind of trying my best not to revert back to my old ways as far as like constantly using my credit card and things like that. I think for personal, I'm gonna put, let me see here. Okay. For personal, I think I'm gonna do 10. My boyfriend always gets 10. I'm gonna put in a little bit for health. YouTube, I'm gonna put in 5, and I'm gonna put in 5 for travel. Let me see where that's at. So yeah, and a lot of the, I guess, so my pastor always says, like, practice doesn't make perfect, practice makes permanent. And I want to be able, so I want to get to a point where this kind of just becomes second nature to me, and get out of the whole motivation mindset and move more towards the like habit mindset, where this is just like my discipline isn't over, it's not like forced, it's kind of just second nature to me. Like as soon as I get my paycheck, I know to put a certain amount towards my savings. As soon as I get my paycheck, I know that I'm paying all my bills before I decide to spend anything out of it, as far as like shopping or anything like that. Like I want this to become second nature to me. So it is a work in progress. It always is. I've been doing this for 2 years, and I'm still working really hard to kind of keep myself on like a stable path, to not end up, I mean, it's okay every once in a while to splurge. Honestly, we're human. Like, go ahead and do it. Just make sure that the next day, it's not, you don't make it a consistent pattern. Like, just the next day, be better again, you know? And so that, I guess, is what I've been dealing with lately. And it just, with time, you know, it's still, like, you're still progressing as long as you're still working towards, like, you come back and you're like, okay, I need to get it back together. I need to focus on my budget again. Like, we just getting back on track. I think that's the point, that's the part that we really have to focus on. So next question, let me see here. So I got a couple questions that asked if I see myself budgeting long term. I don't know exactly if that means budgeting like this specifically, or just budgeting long term. I want to say that I would like to do this long term, just because it's such a simple system that builds so quickly. I would like to do this long term. I'm going to save my 3K challenge for the end to see how much money we have extra. I would like to do something like this long term. Is it totally realistic? I'm not too sure, just because I'm not married yet. I don't have kids. I don't know if anything's going to change by then. Do you know what I mean? Like, I will for sure budget long term. I think you always need to budget. You always need to be smart with your money. And I think that I think that for anything, you will need discipline and budgeting. Like, if there's always going to be something, whether it's saving for a car, saving for a house, if your AC broke down, or you need new car parts, whatever it might be, you're always going to need to budget for something. So this is definitely a system that I will carry long term. As far as how specific it is, like with envelopes and stuff, I don't know yet, but that's just kind of something to take day by day. So let me see here. I'm gonna do what I do for every week that I know I can commit to, and then let me see here. 150 minus 10 minus 3, 117. Okay, I think for buffer I will do the 5 still. And I think this time for car, I'm gonna do 15 instead of 10, just because I wanna start putting a little bit extra. And, okay, so we're left with $97. Let me see here. Okay. Let me just make sure I did the math right. 150 minus 53. Perfect. Okay. Somebody asked what my favorite verse was. And first, I want to side note this and say just thank you so much for allowing me the opportunity to just like not bash or shame me or anything like that as far as speaking on my faith. Like, I do appreciate that very much, just because you know how it is. I mean, I still talk about it regardless, but the fact that everyone is so open and doesn't kind of shut me out when I do start to talk about something like that, I do really appreciate you guys for that. So I just wanted to say thank you. But my favorite verse that I kind of stick by, I guess that is always dependent on the season that I'm currently in. Right now, I am in a place where I have mentioned before, I have really bad back pain. I've been dealing with chronic pain since I was 15. So basically, I've been dealing with this for 14 years now. And I kind of just got to a place where I was like, well, it kind of is what it is, I guess. It's just something I'm gonna have to deal with. And I don't believe that's true anymore. You know, I'm not willing to get surgery. I'm tired of taking pain medication. Like, it's just nothing. I don't want that to be my answer. And so I have really been praying. Like, I do believe that this is something that God can heal me from, and I will not have to live with this pain forever. So one verse that I have been sticking to, I believe it's Luke 17:14. I'm gonna check that. I'm gonna check that later, make sure it's right. But it's when Jesus heals lepers, he told them to get up and walk and show the priest. And so the Bible says that as they went, they were healed. And so that's kind of been, put 5. Sorry, like I mentioned, I put random numbers and then I kind of check at the end to make sure that it's something I can do. So yeah, that's kind of what I've been sticking to. I believe that, you know, not every healing is immediate, and sometimes it takes a couple days, sometimes a couple months, sometimes a few, like several years to see that answer. But I do believe that as I walk and as I continue to be, I'm gonna do 40 for Christmas. As I continue to trust and be obedient in my walk with God, I do believe that that is something he will honor, and he will heal me of this, like of this pain. So yeah, I just keep quoting myself. I just keep quoting it back to myself every single day, multiple times a day. I'm like gripping that story and that verse, and I just know that, you know, one day. It's also building depth to my life, I believe, and it's building a lot of patience in me. So I do believe that not only is it applicable to like healing, but I do believe that it can be applicable to other things in your life. For instance, if you find yourself being frustrated with your finances and you're overwhelmed by debt, or you're trying your hardest to be healthy, whether that's losing weight, gaining weight, whatever it might be, I believe that as you walk and you're obedient in the things that you continue to do, as you make that habit and as every single day you put in the work to what you're supposed to be doing, that as you walk continually doing the things that you're supposed to do, you will get your answer at the end of the day, and that mountain of debt will just become a pebble. Or the 50 pounds that you were supposed to lose, you know, if you stay consistent every day, you're going to see those results. If you're trying to add muscle every single day, little by little, you're going to get progress. So I do think that applies to more things in your life. So I feel like it's not only teaching me just to have a greater faith, but it's also teaching me patience and just to trust him and knowing that I will get an answer if I just stay consistent in the things that I'm supposed to do that have been asked of me or required. So that's the verse that I've been holding on to lately for the current season that I am in. And let's see here. So we have $23 left. Let me jump into the next question. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to do 2 questions just because they're pretty simple to answer. Someone asked why I have 2 different buffers in 2 different places. One is in my wallet and one is in my binder. The one for my wallet, I keep that there just because sometimes, like for instance, gas, I can pay $50 for a full tank one day, and then the next day prices skyrocket and I'll have to pay $70. I keep that buffer there in case I need to pull anything. And let's say I absolutely don't want to touch my grocery envelope because I know that I need to go grocery shopping, I have my buffer to be able to pull from. As far as my buffer in my binder, I keep that there because that's supposed to go into my debit account, my checking account, which I do believe everyone needs a buffer. I think it is 100% necessary just because we are human, we forget things. So sometimes we forget that something is going to be drafted this week, or sometimes, let's say like you're out to dinner with friends and one person pays and it's like, oh, just Zelle me. It's easy to just have that there and be able to pull it from your envelopes later. It makes life a lot easier, especially because everything is electronic now. I think it's very important to keep that buffer in your account. So the buffer that I have in my binder, I've sometimes I've been pulling it out a lot lately. If you notice, the amount is always changing. My goal was to every $100 I was going to put in my account, but sometimes I need it before then, and so that's what that's for. But it's extra money that I've budgeted for, and if I need it, I pull from it. So yeah, that's why I have those 2 buffer accounts. Let's see, another question. Someone asked if I'm willing to share how much debt I have and like my savings goals, if I can do a video on that. Yeah, definitely. I feel like, especially, I say it all the time in my introduction, I want to be debt free and I have savings goals. Yeah, I wouldn't mind honestly being transparent with you guys and showing you exactly how much that is. Because I mean, obviously, so you guys can see that progress as well, how much that is and what I'm doing to get out of it and what I'm doing to save for certain things. So yeah, I definitely would be willing to do that someday. Let's see here. Sorry, I'm just going through the list. Okay. Someone asks, let's see. Maggie asks, let's say car maintenance is over what you have in your budget. Do you use a credit card and make payments to credit card, or do you wait until you pay it in cash? Okay, so that one is kind of, I would definitely recommend, paying it in cash. And it's definitely smart to have that envelope to where, luckily, the reason why I don't have a car maintenance envelope is because I have warranty on my car. And recently I did have to take my car in and pay a deductible. Even though I was covered, I did have to pay a $500 deductible. Now, what I did so that I wouldn't go into credit card debt, I had money in my emergency fund, my emergency account. So I pulled the cash from there to pay that. But I guess that depends on how responsible you are also with your credit cards. Now, I can say I know Dave Ramsey, and his method is credit cards are the devil. Okay, so I can see where he's coming from, but to an extreme, I do find myself using credit cards sometimes, and honestly, if I have the money, and a lot of the times, some of the credit cards that I have give me a lot of cash back, give me a lot of points, so I use the credit cards on purpose, and then I get my money from my envelopes and make that payment towards it so that I never have a balance. But I guess that's dependent on how, if you have absolutely nothing in a car maintenance envelope, if you don't have anything in your emergency fund, if you don't have anywhere to pull this cash from, and let's say you need groceries for the week and all your money is going to go for your car maintenance, by all means, do what you have to do to survive. Just make sure that you have a plan to attack that balance that you've now created in your credit card. So it's really, I want to say that's all dependent on your situation. I can't really tell you. Absolutely do not touch the credit card, because if that is all you have left and you're doing your best to, you already had a car maintenance envelope and it just ended up not being enough, my recommendation would be, if you do have more envelopes, pull from those envelopes. Do everything that you absolutely can before you touch your credit card. So if I didn't have enough of my car maintenance, but I had $300 towards my personal shopping or towards holidays, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to pull from holidays or Christmas to be able to make that up. And if they get smaller gifts this year, they get smaller gifts this year. I will say, if you have money in other envelopes, try to pull from that as much as possible before you touch a credit card. This money in your binders will build. I would rather you pull from what you have and if you absolutely have to later with the credit cards, do it, but try not to until you've exhausted all your resources with the cash that you do have to play around with. So if that was a little confusing, I'm sorry. If not everyone agrees, I totally understand. But yeah, basically do what you can to use what you have in cash first, even if it means pulling from every other envelope in your binder to come up with that, before touching your credit card. That's kind of my take on it. Okay. Someone asked what my business envelope was for. Sorry, I am now going into, we have $23 left. Let me go in here. I think what I wanted to do with this one was put it towards my challenge. So the number that I was looking at is only $22 for my 3K. So that extra dollar, I'll probably just end up leaving it in my account, honestly. I really don't feel like figuring out where $1 goes. So let me just add this all up to make sure it adds up to $8.98. Somebody did ask what my business envelope was for, since I never really talked about that. Basically, I always knew that I didn't want to work for anyone other than myself. What exactly that was as far as business, I never really knew, because I played around with so many different ideas. But I always knew that I didn't want someone else controlling my time. If it was super busy, I had to stay extra time and I didn't have an option. If it was extremely dead and there was absolutely nothing to do, I still had to sit there for the extra 3 hours and do absolutely nothing. I couldn't leave my desk. Or if I wanted to go on vacation, they had the ability to tell me I was not allowed to go on vacation with my family. I always knew that I wanted to be my own boss, whatever that meant. And okay, $8.97, which is perfect because we're not counting that extra dollar. So I'm gonna break this up into how many bills I need of what. So I really hope this doesn't get confusing while I talk. So yeah, I guess currently what I'm using that business envelope for is YouTube. I am trying to invest a lot more time and effort into my YouTube channel. And so I think if any money that I'm putting in that, it will be for this. I want to be able to produce the best type of content for you guys. So whether that means getting a better program to do that, to learn how to edit a little bit more, taking some courses on, you know, certain things, certain styles, different things like that. I guess that's what my business envelope is currently for. 5, 10, 15, 20. Wow, you guys, I'm actually doing this without, like, you know, completely being so distracted as far as like these right here. This is always the hardest part for me. So yeah, that's basically what my business envelope is for right now. And let's see here. Someone asked how I started my cash envelope system, because they're not really sure where to start. So basically, the reason why I started doing this, I had heard a lot about Dave Ramsey, and I was at a point in my life where I was 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, where I was just so overwhelmed with debt, and every single day money was always on my mind, and not in a good way. So I got to a point where I did not want to live that frustrated anymore. And so I started listening to his podcast. I started watching the YouTube channel, and watching that YouTube channel, it kind of led me into cash stuffing videos. So I was instantly hooked. I was binge watching like no other. A lot of the YouTubers that I started to, I can't name them off the top of my head, but I will put them in the description. They're the reason why I actually started this channel in the first place, because I figured, you know, they can do it, I can do it too. So what I did after that was let's see, 5, 10, 12, 10, 11, 5, 10, 15, 20, 22, 5, 10, 15. Okay, so what I did was I wrote down every single thing in my life that had to do with money. So I wrote down all of my bills, I looked through my checking account, I wrote down all my expenses, and sorry if I'm talking a little like weird right now. I'm trying to do this at the same time. I looked at everything and saw exactly where I was spending my money, and I realized how much I was outspending. Like, if I got paid $100, I somehow managed to spend $500. Where that money came from, I have absolutely no idea. I was applying to credit cards like crazy, and which is actually why I have so many now, and I'm trying to get rid of some. But yeah, so I did something wrong. I'm missing $2. Okay, we're gonna do this again. So I wrote everything down, and I put exactly what needed to be paid for in that month. I wrote down all my credit card balances. I wrote down my plan for my credit cards, everything like that, and I just got to work basically. And I was very, very focused on paying off tons of debt in the beginning. And so I created a plan for that. I was every single day, 20, 30, 35, 36. Every single day I was playing with numbers. And I was just like honestly addicted to paying everything off. And at first it was a little hard to adjust to and a little hard for like my family to understand exactly what my system was. But another question, I'll actually just introduce it to this one, 5, 10, 15, 20. A lot of people ask if my boyfriend and my family are supportive of my system. Yeah, they're actually super supportive. So in the beginning, it was a little bit weird to people because everyone's so used to dealing with like electronic things. So like they're 20, 40, 50. So everything is always electronic. So to see that I was doing everything cash, it was kind of like, it was just a little bit different, but they've never not been supportive of it. And same thing with my boyfriend. And he's actually so supportive, especially of this YouTube channel, that he actually told me that once I reached 5,000 subscribers that we were going to make reservations to Mastro's and I can order whatever I wanted off the menu. So we'll be going next month to that. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So yeah, I just every single day I was playing with these numbers, what worked for me, what I could set aside. 5, 10. Oh my gosh. Okay, now I'm officially distracted. I don't know if I'm completely messing up at this point. 5, 10, 15. So yeah, that's, let me just fold this real quick. And as you start this, honestly, it's not going to be perfect, especially in the beginning. You're going to mess up so much. And there's some things that you're gonna forget, like you're gonna budget for something and then be like, oh shoot, you guys, I'm gonna have to do this again. I just completely got distracted. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh well. Okay, I literally, and I do this even when I'm not talking, okay? So I recount these numbers like 50 times, but I'm gonna try to get it right this time. Okay. Oops, sorry, I just totally moved the camera. 1, 20, 30, 1, 2, 3, 4. Where was I at? Yeah, so you're gonna end up playing around with these numbers so much. It actually became something very fun to me, but in the beginning, you're gonna be like, oh, okay, I'm budgeting for this, and then forget that you had a different subscription that you didn't account for, and now you have to play around with your money again, and everything is going to be changing on a daily basis, at least in the beginning, and then with time you're kind of going to get into a groove and know exactly what goes where, and it's just going to get easier with time. So just be patient with that, and you're gonna find that this is actually a really great system, and you're gonna, honestly, your envelopes are going to grow so much faster than you expect them to, trust me. 5, 10, 15, oops, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Okay. And let's see. I think I'm gonna end it with that question, because I need to get this number right already. Okay, bear with me. This is like real life, guys. Okay, 1, 20, 30, 31, 2, 3, 4, 20, 30, 35, 36, 5, 25, 1, 2, 3, 10, 50, 1, 2, 50, 5, 10, 15, 20, 20, 40, 50, 20, 40, 50, 20, 40, 50, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 10, 10, 5, 5, 5, 10, 20, 1, 2, 3, 5, 15, 5, 5, 20, 40, 1, 2, 1, 2, 10, 5, 5. What in the, oh, that's what I forgot. Okay. 10, oh no. 20, 21, 22. Okay, I think I got it this time. 3 equals 300, 2, 100, 5, 10, 11, 12, 13, don't know. 260, 5, 10, 11, 5, 10, 15, 20, 21, 22, 110, 5, 10, 15, 16, 17. Okay, now let's do this math. Oh my goodness, thank God. Okay, I'm gonna put this on a post-it, just basically gonna be these numbers to make it easier for the teller at the bank. Thank you guys for watching all the way to the end. I'm sorry, it literally took 1, 2, 4 tries to get these right, but thank you guys so much for staying all the way to the end. I will officially be announcing the giveaway. I'm sorry it took so long. This was a very chatty video, but basically I'm going to leave this open from Wednesday. What is today? Wednesday the 12th until, I'm gonna leave it for the following Sunday, which is Sunday the, actually I'm gonna close it off at Saturday the 22nd, because I will be announcing it on the 23rd. So you have until next Sunday to enter. It's gonna be very simple. I am posting this on a Wednesday video just because I know I get my most views on Sunday, but the thing is, I feel like the people that have been here from the beginning and are like the super like loyal viewers and stuff, they also watch my Wednesday videos, and so they're paying attention. So that's why I kind of want to put it out there to my Wednesday videos. Yeah, just, I know it's a smaller audience, that's totally fine. It's just, I wanted to put it out for people who I know for sure are like the OG basically. So yeah, it's gonna be super simple to enter. Unfortunately, this will be US only. I will be doing a bundle of different things. You'll see what the bundle is when I announce the giveaway winner, but I am adding different things to it every day. I'm kind of thinking of different ideas, and all you have to do to enter is just like this video and comment. Basically, I want to know what you guys, like the reason you guys got started with your budgeting journey. I feel like no random person just says like, oh, I'm gonna look up cash stuffing videos. Like something obviously led you to these type of videos and this kind of content, to like whatever your goals are, you're looking for something. So what led you to start your budgeting, like financial journey, and what are you trying to get out of it? Like what's your biggest goal for that? My reason, I was so tired of basically being so overwhelmed with debt and paying having all my money to go to these companies instead of all my money going towards my future and my family. So I am doing this budgeting journey to be totally stress free when it comes to that, and just be like, have all that pressure gone and be able to put it towards things that can actually benefit my life and those around me, instead of paying interest to a company that just wants more money. So yeah, that's basically it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate your support. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, comment. It will really support my channel, and I will see you guys all on Sunday. Bye.